problem with being like, how do I express myself in all my glory? And then people just like, shut up, stop, you can't do this. Which is really amazing.
Oh, we got ourselves a show, kids. We got ourselves a show.
Gentle witches, desperate witches, 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 gentle
in the mirror,
desperate witches, gentle witches, desperate witches,
no way out.
I think
this
But
is
the
a
other
human
side of
party
hell.
for human people. I've got a guest list. No dolphins on the list. Get out.
I'm not having this. Discrimination. I'm not having this.
It's discrimination against dolphins.
I'm just there doing my job, all right. I've got a list. I've got some rules.
No.
Humans only.
No.
Can you tell us, sorry, who's on the guest list?
Where have the witches gone? And who are the witches now? Here we are.
sorry.
Here we are.
Why is a greater number of witches found in the fragile feminine sex than in men?
Why is a greater number of witches found in the fragile feminine sex rather than men?
All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
They were gentle witches with healing spells. They were desperate witches with no way out. But the other side of hell.
They lock me up. My soul feels trapped. I said I won't marry him, so they lock me up.
Trapped in the
Don't you
dark.
know that?
Trapped in the
Don't
dark.
you know I'm locked up?
I'm trapped in the dark.
I'm trapped. Marjorie, can I stay here tonight?
All the dolphins may enter the party. Everyone,
Are you having a moment of
I'm leaving
change?
the police force, the
Personal
security
growth?
business forever. I'm just gonna wear a leotard for the rest of my life.
Are you saying you're leaving the police force because you've discovered the truest expression of your own identity?
Yes, and it's in leotards and voguing. That's it. And Ellie Goulding songs.
And scene.
And she's more carnal than a man.
As may be seen from her many carnal abominations.
Oh, and she was formed of a bent rib.
Oh, and so is an imperfect animal.
What? Femina, female. That is the faith minus without.
So, cannot keep faith.
A defect of intelligence.
A defect of inordinate passions.
They brood on vengeance.
Wherefore, it is no
It is
wonder
no wonder
that they
if
are witches!
Why am I tied? Tied to be bled.
Tied to be bled.
Why am I bled?
Why am I bled?
Because I was
screaming.
And why was I screaming?
Why was I
Because
screaming?
I'm bad.
Because I'm bad.
Why was I bad?
Why was I bad?
Because I was happy.
Because I was happy. Why was I happy? Because I ran out by myself and got away from them. And
Why was I happy? Because I ran out by myself and got away from them. And why was I screaming?
I was screaming.
Because I'm bad. Why am I bad? Because I'm tired. Why am I tired? Because I was happy. Why was I happy? Because I was screaming.
Hysteria is a woman's weakness.
let me out of bed now. I can't wait to see myself.
The noxious gases from the inward every month rise in the brain and cause behaviour quite contrary to the patient's real feelings.
I don't know what I'm here for. I've had so much treatment already. The doctor comes every day.
You know what you're here for.
The doctor says people like you don't know anything. He thinks he's cured me because I said I'd get married to stop them locking me up. But I'll never do it.
Do you want a potion to make you love the man?
I'd rather have one to make him hate me or so he'd leave me alone or make him die.
The best I can do for you is help you sleep. I won't harm him for you, so don't ask. Get some sleep and think out what you want.
Can I come again sometime just to be here? I like it here.
Come when you like. I don't charge, but you'll bring me a little present.
I'll give you anything if you can help me.
Come when you like.
Today, our episode is just sort of focusing on shame and remorse, accountability and forgiveness. And she goes by the name of Marjorie because Marjorie used to be part of I guess you could call it like a collective. Some have called it a death cult, involved in sort of like trials and, well, I guess it was back then. I suppose it was I would describe it more of sort of a community. It was like no, that's in a word. Yeah, it was a cult. You know, there are many levels to my guilt. There's a sort of guilt of being involved in coercion. A lot of my work today involves working alongside like the families of witches, working with witches, learning their stories. That just sounds like totally toxic, doesn't it? Advice to give to our viewers who are really interested in this process of personal transformation and just, you know, unlearning all of the bullshit that's told to us. What would you say to them? Just like, you know, if you see someone othering a witch, maybe just really question them and that practice, and don't be silent. Do the right thing.
Just passing by.
Again.
Could you give me a little yeast? I've no yeast, see? I'm fresh out of yeast. I thought I'd do a little baking now and brew a little beer later. No yeast at all. A couple of little loaves.
I've no yeast.
Woman comfortable off with a fine man and a nice field and 5 cows and 3 pigs and plenty of apples. That makes a good cider. Bless you, Marjorie. Many's a time. Do not begrudge a neighbour a little loaf. Many's the good times, eh, Marjorie? I have my own flour, you know. I'm not asking for flour. If you'd my troubles, Marjorie, you'd be glad of a drink. But as you haven't, thank God. And lend me a little yeast like a good woman.
I've no yeast.
I know you, Marjorie.
What do you know?
I know you've got yeast. My eyes are old, but I see through you. A cold woman and getting worse, and you'll die without a friend in this parish. When if you give a little yeast to your good neighbour, everyone would bless you.
I've no yeast.
But you don't give. And they say what a mean, bitter woman and curse you. You'll be sorry you spoke to me like that. I've always been your friend, Marjorie, but now you'll find out I'm not. Damn your butter to hell.
Will you get out?
Devil take you and your man and your fields and your cows and your butter and your yeast and your beer and your bread and your cider and your cold face.
You ready, Tutu?
Yeah.
I thank God he has brought me again where I am needed. Don't be afraid anymore. You have been in great danger, but the devil can never overcome the faithful. For God in his mercy has called me and shown me a wonderful way of finding out witches, which is finding the place on the body of the witch that is insensitive to pain by the devil. So that if you prick the place with a pin, no blood comes out of it and the witch feels nothing at all.
Alice, how can you look? Your poor mother. You're not even crying.
She wasn't a witch. She wouldn't know how.
Alice, she was.
The cunning woman was, I think. That's why I was frightened of her.
I was a witch and I never even knew it. I killed my babies. I never meant it. I didn't know I was so wicked. I didn't know I had that mark on me. I'm so wicked. Alice, let's pray to God who won't be damned.
I'm not a witch.
Alice, you know you are. God, don't hear her say that.
I'm not a witch, but I wish I was. If I could live, I'd be a witch now after what they've done. I'd make wax men and melt them on a slow fire. I'd kill their animals and blast their crops and make such storms I'd wreck their ships all over the world. I shouldn't have been frightened of Ellen. I should have learnt. Oh, if I could meet with the devil now, I'd give him anything if he'd give me power. There's no way for us except by the devil. If I only did have magic, I'd make them feel it.
After bleeding, you must be purged. Tonight, you shall be blistered. You will soon be well enough to be married.
Matilda, can I try and do a bass line on my guitar as we do it?
Yeah, definitely. Oh my God.
We didn't rehearse this, but my guitar was staring at me. It's like, you're not using me. It's a song. Not that I'm going to now sing it, but...
Move of this song towards it being like a kind of like bluesy song, because I think that's kind of exactly, yeah, like nobody sings about it, but it happens all the time.
Yes.
Like, I love that idea. I love it.
It made me
I like Eartha Kitt.
Exactly. Yeah, completely that. Compromise for what? For who? Like, yeah.
Do you want your skin to wrinkle and your cunt to get sore and dry?
And they say it's just your hormones if you cry and cry and cry.
Oh, nobody sings about it, but it happens all the time. Nobody ever saw me.
She whispered in a rage.
They were blinded by my beauty, now they're blinded by my age. Nobody sings about it, but it happens all the time.
Find something to burn. Let it go up in smoke. Burn your troubles away. Sometimes it's witches, or what will you choose? Sometimes it's lunatics, shut them away. Sometimes it's blacks and sometimes it's Jews. We'd all be quite happy if they go away. Find something to burn, let it go up in smoke. Find something to burn, let your troubles, let them all burn away.
What did the cat say? The cat just drank the cream. What did her mother say? We'd be better off with men. No, you don't need to stay.
I think it's more convenient for us to have older gay icons when those gay icons come from outside of the community. And you go to a Maggie Smith that, oh yeah, that's something on the outside. But when we look inside and choose our icons between, we go for the young, the pretty, the glossy. Why that is, maybe it's an extension of the fact that that's what we desire. And in our sexuality, I don't know, but it's there, it's prevalent, and it's a recurring problem. So this song really, really resonates.
Us in the kitchen, the witches had gone away. Poor infected feline, they'd already taken the guilty away.
So like over my lifetime, like the concept of trans masculinity and transness is massively, the conversation has massively shifted. I'm not saying that transness is new. The medical side of transness, where we don't really know what the long-term effect of testosterone is, for example.
Where are you taking my skin?
Where are you putting my bones?
I shut my eyes and I opened wide.
But why is my heart on the other side?
Why are you putting my brain in my cunt?
I mean, you're putting me all back to front. Stop looking at me with your metal eye. Stop cutting me apart before I die. Like, put me back.
Put me back
my body. There's a generation above me where they were almost like the pioneers of that in some way, or they were taking risks. There was the data just didn't exist. So there's something about that, but I don't think those stories are visible. Or
a big part of that is that we don't have a large portion of, you know, our queer elders of that generation for very obvious reasons. And so, you know, and so that kind of like passing down that like oral tradition, all of that would have happened hasn't in many ways. And so I think, yeah, that would be a kind of a whole other layer to add to this song about like,
I want to see myself.
I want to see inside myself.
Give me back my head.
I'll put my heart in straight.
Let me out of bed now.
I can't wait.
To see myself.
Give me back my body.
I can see myself.
They took the innocent